Alright guys, welcome back. This is Luis with Green Zebra Gardening. I'm gonna do an update with the garden. The last video was the mushroom. If you didn't see that, I'll go ahead and link it below. It's the mushroom substrate bricks from Long Beach Mushrooms. We're still eating on those mushrooms, and I still have to harvest more. Anyway, let's get on with the tour. Alright, here we go. I guess this has become a storage area. I honestly haven't been in the garden as much as I'd like to, but it's been because it's been a lot of rain. So I'm just guessing this was Mom going through and just picking up all the small containers. I think some of these small containers are the ones she used for some of her plants. The buckets are definitely from the ones I've used, and then the black containers I think is a combination of stuff. But I don't think I really have that much stuff in containers except for maybe the big grow bags. But anyway, so we don't have a ton of pea plants this year. It's really just these, the ones right here in this container, and then there's a few more down at the end of the garden. But in the first bed we have, so these are I have them in all throughout the garden, but these are the calendulas that I got from San Diego Seed Company. Started from seed myself because I didn't want to go out and buy a couple flats of them because, you know, 30-40 bucks, it adds up. I believe these are the seeds. No, these are not the seeds from the Seed of the Month Club from them. These are actually ones I purchased myself. A lot of the stuff in here is probably from the Seed of the Month Club from them. Some of the stuff is probably just stuff that I already had, or I may have picked up. I think some of the lettuce is that way. The carrots, I don't remember, but it's all kinds of different varieties of carrots. Check these out. I think some of them further down are already starting to come up. But it's really just, in this first bed, it's really just calendula, some carrots, peas, see some lettuce, of course the Growoyas, I think that's arugula. There's some chard back here. That's the only thing, I don't think I have very many what do you call them? Beets and radishes. Any, what do you call them? Any root crops. So these are more calendulas that I just never planted out. We have more calendulas here. We have arugula. We have carrots, another calendula. This is the one that I'm not sure what it is. We've been eating it like lettuce. I've been cutting it up and mixing it in with the lettuce. I've been making tostadas with the kids, which is basically just a tostada tortilla, tortilla shell with some beans, some ground beef, lettuce, tomatoes, a little bit of sour cream. Basically like those cheap snack tacos from Taco Bell, or Del Taco rather, except just in a flat form instead of the half, the regular taco shell. Anyway, so I just cut up a bunch of it and mixed it in with the salad. I mixed in that, I mixed in the arugula, I mixed in some lettuce, some kale, a few cabbage leaves here and there, and kids don't know the difference. They just saw green and they ate it up. This is the kohlrabi, and I have more in one of the other bins over here, one of the other containers. They haven't started to bulb up, but they are looking pretty good. So I really haven't had the water. I actually shut off the watering system just because we've been getting so much rain. This is the volunteer plant, which the name escapes me right now. But I do have, these are the other peas, or some of the other peas that I have. These are the ones with the purple flowers. I'll put it on the thing. I'll put it on the screen. We do have some sweet potatoes that have kind of survived. When the weather warms up, those will just pop right off and those won't be an issue. We have tons of lettuce back here. We have more calendula. We have some flowers starting to come up, as you saw in the first couple beds. We do have a kohlrabi tucked in there. This container, this barrel, I want to say between 20 to 25 gallon, maybe 30, but I don't think it's that big. But we do have, I think, like 5 or 6 kohlrabi in here. Like I said, they haven't started to bulb up, but they are looking very pretty. I'm just very happy with these calendula. They're just exploding. Lots of lettuce, lots of arugula. We even have some kale in here. They haven't gotten terribly big, but that's okay. We've just been, you know, we mix them in with the greens, and they are pretty strong flavored, but kids haven't noticed. Zoom in here. So there we go. I believe that's probably the first one that has started to open this year. And it's looking pretty. Let's move on to the next bed. We'll zoom you guys out. We have a lot of arugula. We have a lot of lettuce. I started a lot of lettuce, and I just dropped them in all over the place. My main crops this year for the winter are going to be arugula, lettuce, and kale kind of mixed in, and chard. Chard I have in the bed behind me, in the one that's kind of by itself. This is another 30-gallon container. We have some arugula. We have some calendula. I think that's really it in here. I don't even see any lettuce. It's really arugulas and calendulas. Oh, and there's a kale plant in here. Looks like it's seen better days though. We do have some carrots, more calendula, and then in the back we have the cabbages. These are red acre cabbages. We have a Swiss chard. And that's really mainly it. Again, it's, oh, and carrots. So our main crops are carrots, calendula, arugula, a little bit of kale, and some cabbages, some red cabbages. This one is a little more full. We have the calendulas going right down the middle. We have the carrots right on the edge. And we have a volunteer tomato, which I might just leave there. The calendula is kind of protecting it there. And it looks like there's a pea plant back there. Right there. But we do have more pea plants up here. And then we get to the end where we have tons of lettuce. We kind of, I just basically put in a ton of plants in here. As they started to get bigger, I thinned them out, cut out whole plants just to give room for the other ones, and they've just exploded in growth. And these are the extra onions, quote unquote extra. I did put a few into the beds, but not very much. Most of these just went straight here, and that's where they've been living. I come out here every so often when it, you know, after like big rain, and just dump them out the water. Banana. That bag over there, I think she said it was grass clippings. So we'll have to go ahead and check and dunk it in there. But this is the last main bed, bed number 8. So the majority, actually really all the chard is just right in here. Tons of calendula on the edge. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with all these flowers. We have tons of cabbages. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think between 8 and 10. We have another 4 back here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'd say about 18 cabbages. Maybe about a dozen and a half. Anyway, so we have arugula, calendula, and there's another chard over here. There's another little one in here. More calendula, and the red acre cabbage. This last container, this is another 30-gallon, has these massive calendula plants. Again, all this rain has been amazing. These are purple Chinese cabbage. I remember these almost died. There wasn't a ton, or there was a ton of leaves that were eaten, and it just got pretty bad. We're gonna move the grass clippings out of the way and check on this. So this is what it's at right now. I will probably, since I'm here, I'm gonna pause the video, or after I finish shooting the video, I'm going to grab my tool and spin this around, and then that way it helps mix it. And I may actually just shove in the thermometer I have over here. Let's do that. The compost thermometer. This is some of the spent mushroom substrate. These are the ones that didn't actually produce anything after I had already had them out there. The ones that have produced. I left them out on the table in the backyard, as you saw in that last video. They're still there. We're still eating off of the mushrooms from the actual harvest. I actually just gave some to my aunt the other day. So I'm waiting to see how hot this gets. We're at about 70 right now. So I'm gonna put you guys down, put you guys on pause. We're gonna mix this up and see what the final temperature is. Well, for now. Okay, so we are going to see. I was going to just do this as a time lapse and probably speed this up in post, but I mean, check this out. This is awesome. So I'm gonna do now is basically just shake it off. I think it might be a little too wet. I'm gonna go ahead and shake this off. I'm gonna put you guys back up there. If you guys want to know what this tool is, this is just a compost aerator. Of course, I got this off of Amazon. I'll link it below with one of the affiliate links. Sub Pod does make their own, but I want to say when I went to go order that one on the Amazon website, which I think they did have it at one point, it for whatever reason said they couldn't deliver to California, and I probably could have ordered it directly from them. The shipping was a lot more. Obviously, since Amazon is free shipping, since I have Prime. So I ended up getting this one, which I think was about the same price, but it's the same idea. So let me go ahead and set you guys up again. I'm basically just going to go through, do the same thing I just did, and then just kind of knock it on top, just kind of get it moving in there. This giant brick, I may just move it for the time being, because it's not broken down, or, you know, broken apart. And then I may just drop it back on there. But as you can see, there are tons of worms in this thing. I'm kind of shocked. That's why I grabbed you guys. All right, so let me set you guys back up. This is freaking insane. Every time I pull up another, I guess, I don't know what you call it, scoop, another round, it's like a ton of worms, which is good to see. So what you just saw me doing, I had a bunch of containers, 4-inch, 3-inch, and between 2 and 4-inch pots, 2 and 3-inch pots, and then I also had a couple 6-packs. Those are plants, I want to say probably lettuce that I never planted out. They died out, and they've been sitting in this tray over there for a while, and it's just soil. It's some instant dead plants, so I figured I'd just mix it in. It'll give it some extra life, and it'll help. But I am gonna go ahead, depending on how big this fluff's up, which it may be on the edge of it, I may just try and top off a little bit of it with the grass clippings over here, but I may not. I may just leave it in there. But it's looking pretty good, so let's continue. So I mixed it up. Anyway, so I've mixed it in, I've aerated it. There was so much, I stopped a couple times depending on how I edit this video. I might only show you once or twice. But there are tons, at any rate, there's tons and tons of worms in here. I even found some of those Japanese worms or whatever you call them. And I took out 2 or 3 of those. There's probably more in here, which is where they're coming from, as to, you know, how they're getting into the beds. But this looks really freaking good. It is pretty moist. I'm not gonna water it in just because it's pretty damp. But what I will do is I will go ahead and drop in probably part of the grass. I'm not gonna mix it in, I'm just gonna put it on top. But I moved this thing in and out a couple times if you saw that video, but it's been in here for a few minutes. And so we've got this up, I don't know how clearly you can see that. We're here just under 80 degrees. So I think with the mixing, it'll help. I did put some scraps in there, I want to say a few days ago, and then I covered it with the mushroom substrate, the other bricks, and I kind of broke those up. Those kind of fell apart easily. And then I just mixed it with soil, and then I dropped, or whatever was under there, and then I dropped in all those containers, those small containers full of soil, which is maybe half a tray of maybe half a 10 by 20 tray. But you know, as you can see, there are still some chunks in here. Like I said, I just put some kitchen scraps in here. There's some banana peels. We bought some bananas this week, and the kids, because they were kids, you know, my kids were here pretty good amount because of the holiday. And so they wanted fruit, and so I said, okay, well, we'll get you some bananas. I like bananas, and so they know that anything that's compostable will go into the compost bin. We have the small one in the garage, in the kitchen, which I will link below, but it's also over on my Amazon storefront, which is also linked below. And I don't only have gardening products in there, I have all kinds of stuff in there. From my desk setup, to the gardening, to the composting, to books, to kitchen stuff that I use, not on a daily basis, but on a pretty regular basis when I cook my meals with some of the food that comes out of here, and then just in general. But I think that's going to be it for the compost bin. We're going to close this up, and I think the tour is pretty much over. We do have the lovely poinsettia that Mom has planted, I think a couple years ago. Came back. It's looking lovely. We have some aloes in the corner, more aloes. But I think we're going to end the video here. Alright guys, thank you for joining me. Hopefully the banana tree here doesn't shade me out horribly bad. But I think that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. If you're still around, please go ahead and drop the like, hit the subscribe button, go ahead and hit that bell notification so whenever I upload a video, I'm trying to get better about it. I know it's not going to be very often. I'm trying to find different things to shoot videos about, and I hadn't been in the garden for, I'd say, probably a week or so since I was in here for that last video. And even then, I didn't really even come in. I really just went over to the mushrooms. And it's been raining a lot, and so I really haven't had to. I came out yesterday, picked some greens for lunch, for, you know, lettuce and some kale and some arugula and whatnot. So it wasn't really a ton. And honestly, this year I have so many calendulas that it's not a ton of food, but I think it'll be enough. It's nice to have the greens though, because I was getting kind of tired of the tomatoes and the eggplants. The cucumbers are really good, but yeah, it was a lot of them. And anyway, that's it. Again, thank you for hanging out. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, whatever, drop them in the comments below. Follow me over on Instagram at Green Zebra Gardening. Again, if you want any of the products in the video, check out probably in my Amazon storefront or just below. I think that's it. All right, catch you guys on the next one. Peace.